But again, even Luke Campbell's a tougher fight even 3 years later than anybody Devin Haney is beating on his record. Literally. That Luke Campbell, not Luke Campbell now, but that Luke Campbell from 3 years ago is still better than anybody Devin Haney's fought at this point in his career right now, bar none. I mean, and people that understand and know boxing, the technical part of it, understand what I'm talking about, okay? A 105-year-old Jorge Linares doesn't count, like I said, and I explained to you why that doesn't count. And that's it. Okay, most other guys, we don't ever heard of them. Jojo Diaz, faded ex-champion, that's fine. You can have that, even a little smaller guy. That's the way prospects come up. I don't have a problem with the Jojo Diaz win, honestly. It's a good, solid win on your record. But again, it's not a 50-50 fight. It's not going to get anybody's, it's not going to make anybody come in their pants while thinking about that fight, even when they made it. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, it's par for the course. That's even, honestly, even if you had a real world title at the time, that's a decent, like an optional first defense. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a problem with fights like that. And like I said, I think Devin is of the talent level where, he's being groomed to be a better fighter, but I just didn't like that he's downplaying the championship fighters that had accomplished more than him, and they were trying to fight each other to unify the title and make an undisputed championship. Now, people talk about, Paulie's making it up. The mandatory was Lomachenko, and he dropped the WBC title to take the franchise title. All right, well, first and foremost, you have Matchroom representing you at the time, okay? You're not in the contract with them, but you have Matchroom representing you at the time. You didn't have to accept those terms, okay? You could have pushed it. You could have given interviews saying, I don't want Lomachenko to be able to keep his WBC belt even as a franchise belt. I want the shot at Lomachenko. I don't want to take this secondary shot. I'm the mandatory. I don't want to be appeased. I want my title shot. You could have done that. Your promoter, more so than anything, could have done that. But nobody wants to play the politic game, right? Nobody wants to ruffle the feathers of the WBC. Let's face it, the biggest problem in here in all of this was the WBC, because they basically created a WBC franchise title under the premise of the rules that WBA originally created the super title, not the rules that WBA has a super title for now. The original WBA super title rules were that if a guy made enough title defenses or if he unified, he now he became a super champion, and there became a regular champion underneath him. And the super champion didn't have to deal with mandatories. He could just take super fights. Okay, and the regular champion would come up underneath him and fight all the mandatories, It was BS then when the WBA did it. The WBC did it with no prerequisites. They just randomly would just give this franchise title. They gave it to Canelo, and then they allowed Lomachenko to have it because he wanted to unify against Devin Haney. Why? Because the WBC was trying to collect 2 sanctioning fees. That's why. Okay, you didn't have to accept that, though. WBC was allowing the undisputed title to happen with Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. As a matter of fact, ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, still was considering George Kambosos the undisputed champion when he fought you the first time. So nobody thought that there was a belt missing out of those things except your fans. So going into the fight, I don't think Lomachenko loses to Devin Haney if they fought, and I don't think anybody with a rational boxing mind thinks Devin Haney beats Lomachenko if they fought, because Lomachenko had the shoulder surgery, and he's looked like a killer when he's been back. I heard, and I've had hearings from his training camp, he looks like a monster in camp even now with the shoulder fully recovered after the injury. So you got a big problem if you're going to fight Lomachenko. And I said it from the very, very beginning. What did I say from the very, very beginning when Lomachenko first gave up his title shot against Kambosos, because he had signed the fight first, and went to deal with the Ukraine war, and it allowed Devin Haney to step in and get the title shot against George Kambosos. What did I say right at the very beginning, right when that fight was signed? The videos are out there. What did I say? Well, I said that Devin Haney, through this 3-fight contract that he just signed, is very interesting. Again, he doesn't have to sign long-term contracts because now he's worked his way up the ladder without long-term deals, and now he holds a lot of leverage. So now you really don't have to sign long-term contracts. Again, the privilege roll coming up the ladder. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I think that's a blessing to have a father that takes care of you, bro. Not all of us have this. I didn't have my father growing up. I've just recently recreated my relationship with my father as an adult. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking that. I think that's a beautiful thing. But not all of us had that opportunity. But it helped Devin Haney a lot because he wasn't able to. He wasn't forced into long-term contracts. Which now, by the time he gets to the Matchroom Top Rank issue, and Top Rank says, no, you're going to get the title shot with Kambosos, but you got to come sign with us. He doesn't owe Matchroom anything. It's a word of mouth contract. So he just leaves them and takes a shot at Kambosos. Maybe he told them, I'll be back after I win the title. Who knows? But Top Rank forces him to do a 3-fight deal. Not a long-term deal, but a 3-fight deal. And 2 of those fights were Kambosos win and the rematch with Kambosos. And then a 3rd fight. And I said it back then. What did I say back then? From the very beginning, once Haney signed that 3-fight contract, I said, here's how this is going to play out. Because I know this business like the back of my hand. At that time, but as soon as they signed that 3-fight deal, and the videos exist on YouTube, I think I said it on the Pro Box podcast. Actually, I may not have said it on Paulie TV because I also obviously work the Pro Box podcast. And what did I say? I said Devin Haney is going to beat George Kambosos. He's going to beat George Kambosos in the rematch. And then he's going to be offered an extension with Top Rank. Because Top Rank is in the business, as all promoters are, of holding the belts. Promoters don't really care about the fighters. They care about the belts. Unless the fighter becomes so big like a Canelo, then he's bigger than the belts. But for the most part, promoters care about the belts, not the fighters, okay? So, after 2 fights, if he wins, Top Rank is going to offer him an extension. I do not know if Top Rank offered Devin Haney an extension after the 2 fights or not. But I gave this hint to people. I said, here's how you'll know if Devin Haney accepts or signs an extension with Top Rank. If he signs an extension with Top Rank, he'll be given a winnable 3rd fight as his first defense post-Kambosos of the Undisputed Lightweight title. If he doesn't extend with Top Rank, well, Top Rank is not in the business of letting the Undisputed title belts walk away from them after they created this Undisputed champion. After this Undisputed champion just beat their Undisputed champion. And they have options on Kambosos, remember. So, which is why they were in control of giving Haney the title shot. So I said, if Haney accepts the extension of the contract, Haney will get a winnable 3rd fight on that contract, and of course he'll continue to fight for Top Rank after that. If he doesn't, though, they're going to try to get him beat, and the guy they'll try to get him beat with is Lomachenko. So if you see Top Rank try to make Lomachenko and Haney after Haney beats Kambosos' 2nd fight, you'll know Top Rank Haney did not extend with Top Rank, and Top Rank is going to get him beat because. Even at that time, I knew the guy can't beat Lomachenko. And most people, like I said, most people with a sane boxing mind don't know he can't beat Lomachenko. And it doesn't mean he's a bad fighter, guys. That doesn't mean I'm saying Devin Haney's a bad fighter. Like me telling you can't beat Lomachenko, who's one of the best fighters of this generation, isn't a knock on you. Like, bro, you can't beat Lomachenko, and it doesn't mean you're a bad fighter. I'll tell you straight, you're a good-ass fighter. You just can't beat Vasyl Lomachenko. A lot of guys can't beat Vasyl Lomachenko. It's the way it is. I'm sorry to break it to you, dude. That's life. Okay, that's competition. That's boxing. There were guys I couldn't beat. There's guys a lot of guys can't beat. It doesn't make you a bad fighter. But I said, and what did I say the scenario would continue as? I said, if Haney fights Lomachenko will take the Undisputed title from Haney. And then he'll make 1 or 2 defenses. And in the meantime, Shakur Stevenson will be coming into his own. And he'll be reaching a prime part of his career. This is a guy who's already won world titles, Shakur Stevenson. But now I said, he'll get better and better because Shakur's still young. He's getting better and better. As is Haney. I still feel Haney will continue to get better and better. But Shakur is at a high level. And I said, maybe Lomachenko will be able to make 1 or 2 defenses of that Undisputed title. And then Shakur will be ready to overtake Lomachenko. And Top Rank is the best promoter at elevating one star to replace their fading star. And I said, when the time is right for Top Rank, they won't do it sooner, but when the time is right for Top Rank, Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko will headline a pay-per-view that Shakur Stevenson will win and supplant Lomachenko as the superstar of the Top Rank stable, and he'll be the future superstar going forward as he's a young undisputed champion with all the future in front of him. That's exactly how I played out the scenario from the very beginning to the very end. But Devin Haney's fans are so racist, dude, that it's actually mind-boggling that they don't even follow the pattern. They just see skin color and just judge on skin color. It's crazy. And you've even got YouTube reporters like that guy I mentioned earlier, that just played off the same thing. For me, this all ends with Shakur Stevenson as the man, not Lomachenko as the man. But right now, Lomachenko is the man. You know what I'm saying? Actually, no, right now, no, you know what? Devin Haney is the man. But if you fight Lomachenko becomes the man, for a short time until Shakur's ready to overtake him. That was how I predicted it from the start. And look where we are, bro. Right before Kambosos and Haney's rematch, Bob Arum went on the record and said, the winner of Haney-Kambosos will fight the winner of the Lomachenko fight October 29th. Just as I predicted at the beginning of this year. Right on point. Just as I predicted. Okay? And now is the truth-telling point. Now is the truth-telling time. Just as I predicted, now you either got to fight Lomachenko and fight the guy that it's probably the white good boy that beats you, which irks the hell out of your fans, let's face it. Or you'll do as I said. You'll vacate and you'll move up in weight. Dude, you're in control, bro. You know what I mean? Devin Haney can fight Lomachenko and beat him and prove me wrong, or he can duck him and prove me right. Or he can fight Lomachenko and he'd probably get beat and still prove me right. And I give him a lot more respect. But my respect isn't what Devin Haney should care about anyway. Whether I respect Devin Haney, Devin Haney shouldn't care about that. I don't. And personally, that's the way a fighter should think. But I'd respect Devin Haney a lot more if you went for the Lomachenko fight. Yeah, because you've been talking all this, and you made it race-based, even though, again, I can forgive that. You're a young guy. But you've got all this race-baiting stuff that's just created this gasoline fire now. And the Eastern European is the guy in front of you. This is exactly as I predicted. Will Devin Haney now move up in weight and avoid Lomachenko? Or will he fight Lomachenko and beat him? And then I apologize and prove that I tell you that I'm wrong and I was wrong and this is an amazing fighter, which I still think he's. Listen, I've never not said Devin Haney's a very good fighter. Like I said, I mean, I know it pisses you guys off that, and you know, Devin, you're me with money behind you. That's all you are, bro. You know what I mean? Now that you can take that as a knock or you take that as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a two-time world champion who fought constant 50-50 fights. Constant 50-50 fights. And I stayed at or near the top of the sport from 2006 to 2015 for 9 years with no gimmies. Okay? Constantly had to take the toughest fights, constantly, because I didn't have that luxury of doing it any other way. You got more luxury, bro. I mean, you can make your choices. Business-wise, playing chess outside the ring, yeah. You know what? Makes more sense to move up and weight and avoid Lomachenko. But stop taking away credit where it deserves to be. That's where we're at now, man. So it's interesting, but we're here, and I'd like to see Haney and Lomachenko. I'd like to get that result out there. I called it right from the start, guys. Whether that makes you feel some type of way or not, it doesn't even matter, bro. It doesn't make it any less true. I called it exactly from the start. The scenario that I broke down a few minutes ago is the scenario I broke down back in like February and March when this whole thing was first signed. You know what I'm saying? Whenever earlier this year, when they first signed Haney and Kambosos. And honestly, the respect for Lomachenko should go way more than that, because if Lomachenko didn't go and deal with this war in his country, you wouldn't even got the title shot, bro, and you'd still be parading around with that popcorn belt that nobody except your racist fans think was a real belt anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd still be parading around with it. You know what I'm saying? So there should probably be a little bit more respect given for one good fighter to a great fighter. And Haney is a guy who I think has potential. I think he has potential. I think he's a very good fighter, and I think he has potential. But I think Lomachenko's better than him. I think Shakur Stevenson is better than him. And the way I've seen Teofimo Lopez look in certain fights, because now you just don't know what you're going to get with Lopez. Let's be honest with you. At least the one thing Haney has going for him, Haney's consistently, what he is. He's a pretty good fighter. He's a very good fighter. But Lopez has been totally inconsistent. But on certain nights, I would certainly pick Lopez. Focus Lopez has more weapons at his disposal than does Haney. But again, it doesn't make Haney a bad fighter. There's just a lot of good fighters in and around that weight class, and he's one of them. He's one of them. I just don't pick them to be. And I can only gauge by the guys he's fought, and of the guys all these top lightweights have fought, he's probably got the weakest resume, bro. Like, he's got a mad, like, your resume's mad weak, dude. You know what I'm saying? You're a good fighter, and that's not even a knock, because you just became a world champion now, but like, your resume's mad weak. Like, you got your fans who just blinded by everything, just making like their resumes, you got a good resume. Like, your resume's mad weak, bro. You could be the guy nobody heard of before or since for the title, for that vacant popcorn title. You beat a shot Linares. Like, I mean, he wasn't just shot, he was super shot. Like I said, Pablo Cano knocked him out in a round 3 years earlier. You know what I'm saying? And Pablo Cano was a guy that I beat 7 years before you fought Linares. I mean, it's insane. So again, I'm not going to keep harping on the things I've already said in this video. I've made a long enough video. I wish Devin Haney the best. And whether he wins or loses, I don't have a problem with Haney. I have a problem with racist fans and the race issue constantly being pushed in this boxing thing. I understand, listen, part of life. It comes up. We can even give banter about it. That's fine. You know what I mean? We can take it with a grain of salt, tongue in cheek. We can laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, even in that way, sometimes people do get offended, but I think it would be a lot less offensive if people didn't take it so seriously. So seriously. I do want to start watching Devin Haney against top fighters. And that's the point of this video. And you want to call it hate, you can call it hate. I honestly, I wouldn't knock you business wise if you moved up in weight. If I'm and avoided that fight. With you keep the you wouldn't keep the undisputed title, but you keep the undefeated record, and you keep that mirage, that that image. It's an image. Not even a mirage. It's a good fighter. Like I said, it's more an image of the beaten fighter and all that other stuff. And he's in a position where he can do that. So that's it, guys.